Welcome back to News 3 Now at noon. Lisa Briggs is here from the Brew's Company. Tell me a little bit about what you brought today.
Okay, so this is a celosia. So this time of year we get annuals that are more suited to late summer and maybe into early fall. The colors tend to get warmer colors. So, but we have like mums and kale, no pansies yet, but those are coming, lots of zinnias. But this is, it has a really, if you feel it, it's kind of fuzzy.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
kind of like that.
I know. But they're just really pretty, and it's a good accent. So if your containers, you know, if you let some of them go or they're looking a little mingy, pop in some new annuals.
So there's some really high temperatures coming this week.
I know, yuck, I hate this kind of weather. It's my least favorite.
So in terms of those plants, how should people prepare to bring those inside?
Okay, so you don't have to bring anything inside at this point, but the thing to remember is when you have plants that are in containers, that when they get super hot, sometimes they go a little dormant and they're not taking up as much water. So if you see your things and they're starting to wilt, what you're going to want to do is check the soil. And if the soil is wet, then just hold off. If the soil is dry, then water. And that would go for anything that you have growing in pots, veg, flowers, annual grasses, whatever you have. If we get downpours and things start to wilt also because they're overwatered, which looks very similar, that's why you want to check the soil. If things are really getting super wet, if we get some rainfall, then just bring them closer to the house so maybe they dry. You give them a chance to dry out a little bit.
Okay. Are any plants more likely than others to be at risk in these kind of temperatures?
Well, I think that there are some trees and shrubs that definitely do not like drought. So we're talking about beech trees. We're talking about birches. You'll see like yellowing leaves on the inside and they'll fall off. That's pretty typical because of heat. Certainly if you've got like those shady hydrangeas, the ones that are, you know, blue or purple or pink, you'll want to make sure that those are getting well watered. They'll wilt pretty quickly.
If you have a vegetable garden and you're excited about soon being able to enjoy some of those.
Well, you'll be super happy about the heat because tomatoes especially and red peppers, especially the hot ones, like this heat to get really ripe. So the last couple summers where we haven't had that extended warm weather, we haven't had good crops unlike big beefsteak tomatoes or if you like hot peppers. So people will be happy about that. Just like I said, watch the watering. Make sure that things stay evenly moist but are not sopping wet.
And let's talk about specifically going through heat stress in those longer periods that we're seeing right now. How does that affect plants in some of the long term in that sense?
Well, I think for annuals, we're getting close to the end of the season, so and veg too. If you lose them, they're not going to survive the winter anyway. I think if you're talking about woody plants, there are particular plants that do suffer from drought stress. Red buds are one that's a really popular smallish tree in our area. Just make sure that if you have those kinds of things that they get a good soak, maybe every other week, maybe once a week if the heat looks like it's going to last for 3 or 4 days, which is not horrible. But yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
Well, Lisa Briggs, thanks so much for coming on. And speaking of all this heat, we're going to send it back over to Kelly for one final look at the forecast.
Yeah, that's right. We do have a first warn alert day going into effect tomorrow. All of southern Wisconsin heat index could be getting up close to 110 later this week.